everybody. Welcome to another round of Canje Plays. And, ooh, sounded super low for some reason. What's going on there? Let's see. Let's raise this up, and there we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another round of Canje Plays. And today we're going to be getting into a preview of the next game in the Spires End catalog, which is Rangitaki. Which is there. Hey, Greg. Good morning. How are you doing? So, this Spires End was created by Greg Favaro, who created initially. It was the first Spires End game, and then Hildegard. This is the third one in the series that's about Rangitaki. So, if you haven't played Spires End is just kind of like this choose your path card game where you have a deck of cards, and as you're taking cards off the top, you're making decisions on your path, which will lead you to a possible ending of the game. But you get to play with different characters that are part of that game. And what I'm seeing happening here with this series is that Greg is breaking those out, and each character is getting their own game, whether it be a prequel to Spires End, a post to was it post Spires End, or however the timing places for where they are. Hey, Stacy, happy New Year's Eve. Hello. And so Rangitaki is the next in line after Hildegard, and so this is this next game that's coming out. It looks like it'll be a fun romp. I hope you enjoy it too. Remember, I want to start off by saying this is a Kickstarter preview. All materials are subject to change completely before the game delivers. So if you see something or if there's an error on a card, or if art is missing from a card, it's because it's a preview. So keep that in mind. I got into this game because of you, D. I'll never forget my first game ended. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, though. I really hope you liked it. I really do. So, we're going to, before I begin, I want to say thank you to my patrons, my YouTube subscribers, and if you're neither, just coming in to hang out, thank you and welcome as well. We're going to go through chapter 1 of this story, which is the preview. Everything is subject to change. Components are completely. This is a preview copy that I received from the developer. I have received no compensation. I never take compensation for previews or all that stuff, only because I always tell them, I don't want your money because I'm going to tell you what I think of your game. So you will not influence my opinion. If that is a problem for you, do not send me your game, because I want to play the game and tell you my thoughts on it, what I think of it, and how it played for me. And so a lot of the paid preview stuff is kind of, you can't do that. Your opinion shouldn't matter if you're being paid. You just show the game and be done with it. I'm going to show the game, but I'm also going to tell you what I think. That's how it goes. But remember, those are my opinions. Draw your own conclusions, do your own research, build that stuff up. So, this Kickstarter, I believe it's coming either January or February. I can't recall off the top of my head. But it's going to be early Q1 of 2024 that this will hit crowdfunding, and then you should be able to do it. You can actually go on the Kickstarter page now and see the preview-ish page that's set up for it for you to set on it. All right. So I think we're good. Let's go ahead and hop down to the table, and then we will take a look at setup and how this game plays out. Setup is super fast. So here we go. All right, so this is Spires End Rangitaki. It's going to come with this board that you just kind of fold out that fits in the box. And Greg was saying he wanted to make things as compact as possible so that it does fit in the box. But it's going to have this lovely art here, and it's going to be this grid that sets out. So this is a grid-based game that you're going to be playing. You will start off, these dice here, these are prototype dice. Do not say, oh, these dice look terrible. They probably do, because they're prototype. So, but these dice are your health trackers. So you start with 3 health. So you basically start with 9 health. So if you look on here, you see it says 3. Then when you get hit, you spin it, not to 0, whoopsies, to 2. Then you get hit again, you spin it to 1, and then you get hit again and you spin it to 0. So you have 9 health, and these spin down dice are what you use to kind of kind of set yourself up. So you have those there. These are your damage and time cubes that are going to be here, and these are your action tokens that you're going to have there. So you just set those off to the side, grab these. You'll get a fourth one, but that's only going to be if you play the game to where you can get this fourth one. But for right now, you're only going to have 3 of them, which means you're going to be at 9 health. All right, keep that in mind. So it's going to be 3, 2, 1, 0, and then you're at 6 health. So that's how that shakes up. This is also, hey Matt, what's going on? This is also an endurance game. So it's not after you finish combat, you heal back up to full. Your health stays the same until otherwise stated. So keep that in mind. So it's like 9 health. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, but that's all you get. So after you finish combat, your health doesn't go back up. This is just a pure endurance choose your path game for you to set up. Hey, Frederick, what's going on? Hello. For those of you who are ahead of the U.S. in time zones and you're living in other parts of the world, Happy New Year. I just watched the Australian, when I woke up this morning, I watched the Australian New Year celebration on YouTube, so Happy New Year to you all. So that's fun. All right, we got our dice tray set up because you will be rolling, and these are my dice. These are not the dice that will come with your game, but you will be rolling a D20 and a D12. One thing that Greg said was that on setup, a lot of these areas are covered that enemies can't be placed in, so those will be removed and added on. Those 3 spaces will be added on to make it'll be like 1, 5, 6 to 10, and then 11 to 15 on this D12. So it's going to be a specialized D12 where 2, 3, and 4 won't be on the die, and you'll see why. And then your D24. Yes, we're rolling dice in this wonderful, wonderful game. So I'll set those to the side. You will grab your chapter deck of cards like you did if you played Spires or if you played Hildegard. But if you've played neither, you're just going to grab this deck of cards. You do not shuffle it. Keep it in the order that it is, and they're all numbered at the top. So you'll see here at the top, you'll see begin here 1. So and if you notice, like they're all have numbers on them as you go through, and as you reveal card after card, it will tell you what to do. You also grab the enemy cards, which have this skull with the spear sticking through it, and it says enemies for chapter 1. So you'll get these cards, and you'll shuffle these up. So you'll just give these a good shuffle. And blah, blah, blah. And those are going to be your rando enemies that will appear. You take out the terrain cards that have this lovely little... I forgot what the name of this bird is, like, but it looks like a toucan, but it has a different name. But it'll have this bird in the skull. So there are 3 terrain cards in chapter 1. You give these a shuffle, and you put them off to the side. All right, and then you're ready to start your game. That's setup. That's setup of this game. So, hey Elaine, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. So what we're going to start off this game, we're going to start off with begin card number 1, pull the card, and the art on this card is just beautiful. That's the one thing about this game. It does not disappoint when it comes to art. So the art looks fantastic, you can see there. All right, so we're going to flip this over and let's start our adventure, right? We're ready? We're ready? Let's do it. Flip it. So we get some nice little art of that we see, and then we get our text that says, "Today I was rushed into the home of the seer Mokai. I've been here for hours now, watching her work. She waves an unsteady 4-fingered hand over a cauldron filled with a dark swirling liquid. It's ready," she says at last. Mokai opens her mouth and heaves. Her tongue curls out over her lower lip as her throat bulges upward. The seer reaches into her mouth and pulls out a small knife, followed by dripping cords of foul black ichor. She extends the knife to you, finger or toe. I really like the different ecosystems he chooses to use for the different games. Yeah, I agree too, Stacy. I agree. So it says first pull cards 83, 84, and 85, then select either finger, toe, or refuse. So we're going to pull cards. When it says pull, it means reveal. It says 83, 84, and 85. So we're going to pull these out, which is, of course, our character, Rangitaki. So when we flip these over, 83 is going to be, and I'll explain her card, but it's going to be a picture of your character, Rangitaki. Has her name, has how many action points she has, which is 7. It has, I'll explain that as well as we go, so we'll put that there. Then it has a travel satchel. So there is breadfruit, uku, and abajurni, I believe is what this is called. And then an item inventory that goes below that. And then the final ones is our talent skills. So physical, mental, or crit hits. When you get these, you'll get to add +1 to your die roll, or how many tokens you have, you get that plus number. But I'll go into that in a second as well. And then our event inventory, which will go below that. So we'll have those set up like that. Actually, do I need to move it over here so y'all don't have to? Nope, I'll put it over here. All right. So after we pull these cards, it says refuse, lose a finger, or lose a toe. We're gonna lose a toe. So we're gonna do toe for 4. So basically, once you do that, this card is then taken and discarded. So it is discarded here. And 2 and 3. Let's put this like this. So whatever we go to, the other cards above it are discarded as well. And this is your top card. So we're going to, let's take a pause and let's take a look at this card. So this is our lovely, lovely character and art of Rangitaki. What you notice at the top, you see that 20/5. These numbers right here. That is your die roll barrier. So basically, if I roll a 20, it's a crit. So when I roll a crit, basically a natural 20 is a crit on the D20 die. If I roll a crit. If I roll a crit, I do +1 damage. The other is your lower bound. So if I roll a 5 or lower, I miss. Usually in games, it's you have to roll, if you roll a 5 or higher, you hit. In this game, if I roll a 5 or lower, I miss. So when I roll my die, if I roll a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I miss my hit. However, if I roll a 6 and above, I hit, and if I roll a 20, I crit. Make sense? Simple. All right, so Rangitaki has 7 actions that she can take. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of actions. It's really not. So you'll see what that means. So she gets 7 action tokens. So we'll take these action tokens. I ended up using dice for these, but you can use these tokens as well. Remember, this is a prototype. They won't all look like this. They could vary. They could vary in their use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So she'll get 7 action tokens. So we'll just put those on her card. All right. This next up is her travel satchel. This image that you see of the skull means that art is pending for this. So there will be more beautiful art for you for the travel satchel when the game finally releases. But basically, you get these 3 types of produce: breadfruit, uku, and abjurni. But then if you get any other items, those items will go below this card. So that's what item inventory is. You also get talents. You get talents that you learn. Once again, income art will be added later. And you'll get these talents that get to add to this event inventory below that you get to add specific cards to if you're able to get them. These cards, this physical, mental, and crit hit, whenever you get a boost or a bonus, you get to add a token to that. Uh-oh. Okay. You get to add a token to that, and what that says is, whatever die you roll, how much ever tokens you have. So let's say you're doing, okay, I'm doing a physical check. I'll roll my D20, and if I have any tokens on that, I add that number of tokens to my die roll. So it's kind of like a little boost balancer to help get you past some of the tougher spots and tests, if you get it. So that'll come here. Simple enough. This game is smooth. Then we flip card 4. So I'll read it and then I'll put it on here for you. Hand shaking, you take the knife. You always suspected the transfer of dark sight would require sacrifice. This was not what you had in mind. The pain that follows this act should be the least of your worries. Know that through this, you'll be able to commune with the dead on the eternal planes, Mokai explains. Outside, you hear screams. They rapidly intensify and grow closer. What must I do? So it said, add Mokai's knife to your item inventory. So you see this card at the bottom. It says Mokai's knife, and you get a +1 critical point. So basically, whenever I roll for a crit, now that means that I crit on a 19 or a 20 instead of just a 20. This is not how I expected my day to go. Pull card 5. So I'll take this with the Mokai's knife at the bottom, and I will add it to my item inventory. So now it goes under there. And then I will pull card 5. All right, so head to the coast as fast as possible. Take a canoe where whatever you can find and get off Mokana. And if they've taken the beach, you ask? Then head to Trader's Trail up to Tuku 2 Gondola. Take it to Coral Cove. Now, enough stalling. You need to get this done. Mokai taps the altar with her hand impatiently. You remove your sandal and place your foot on it. You grab one of the candles on the altar and wedge it between your soon-to-be severed toe, separating it from the others. Confident now in your cutlery skills, you thrust the blade downward. We need to take a mental challenge. So this is a test. So this is a test we need to make, which is a mental challenge, which means we're going to roll the d20 and we need to get a 10 or higher. If we fail, we'll take a wound. Otherwise, yikes. And then you see so much blood for such a small toe, you're going to pull card 7. So we're going to come over here, grab our d20. If we look at mental, we don't have any boost to it, so we're just rolling a d20 and hoping for a 10 or higher. Yay. I rolled a 4. Fabulous. We're going to lose. We take 1 wound, so we lose a health. And then we're going to pull card 7. The color drains from your face as you stare at your severed limb, drawing a trail of blood along the floor. No surprise. Mokai takes a blazing red stone from the cauldron fire, dips it into a mortar of black powder, and rubs it around. Remain still, she instructs, before forcibly thrusting the searing stone into your wound, causing the flesh to sizzle. The pain is agonizing, but it swiftly dissipates. Mokai picks up your lost appendage and tosses it into the cauldron. She stirs the brew in long sweeping motions while chanting soft, indiscernible words. Beyond the giant skull and hatched hull walls, the sounds of war intensify. She dips an aged wooden spoon in the warm, opaque liquid and extends it towards you. Drink it, she urges. So either we drink it or we don't. We just gave up our toe to her, so let's go ahead and drink it. So we're gonna say yes. So we'll pull this one, number 9. And it says parting ways. As the warm liquid slides down your throat, a peculiar sensation engulfs you. Suddenly, a dark screen of smoke rises in your vision, casting a shadow over the vibrant colors of the world. You can now communicate with Tutupo. He will provide ammunition for your blowgun and guidance for your escape. Ammunition, Tutupo? How? You grab the small dried head around your neck and look into its sunken face. Fed to you from his mouth as needed, Tutupo will summon your blowgun darts from the eternal planes. However, even with Tutupo's assistance, do not anticipate effortless kills. Seer Ravana has used her dark craft to ensnare the people of Rukai Isle and turn them into ravenous animals. They are brutal, relentless, and consuming the living in a desperate attempt to gain the dark sight for themselves. Tutupo's darts may not be enough to kill them, but it will slow them down. Goodbye, Rangitaki. She motions you to the door. You lost your toe. If you lost your toe, pull card 86. If you lost your finger, pull card 87. So we will do pull card. We lost our toe, so we're pulling card 86. All right. This is our action card. So encounter actions, we get +1 to physical points. So we'll put one there. And it says encounter actions. So this is how you do stuff in this game. So you can make a dart shot, which costs you 3 action points. So 3 action points is 1 dart shot. It targets 1 character, and if you hit, it does 1 damage. If you crit, it does 2. That's how it works, right? Poison, which costs 2, it does 1 damage, and it has a star on it, and then it has a crit bonus of 1. So just a few turns in, and we have self-mutilation and cannibalism. This game is hilarious. Indeed, indeed. So I want you to notice the star on poison. You also see it on lob as well. If you look down at the bottom, it says must be combined with dart shot, poison damage at end of round. So for instance, so the double star means poison damage happens at the end of the round. So if I want to do a poison shot, I have to spend 5 action points, 3 for the dart shot and 2 for the poison. And you have to declare them before you make the attack. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to do a dart shot. Oh, sweet, I crit. I'm going to make it poison too and add 2 more. You have to declare that you're going to make it a poison dart shot and spend the 5 total actions. So as you can see, 7 actions, when you first see it, you're like, that's a lot. It's really not. It burns very quickly. But it'll do 1 damage at the end of the round, and it gives you a crit bonus of 1. So if I roll an 18, it's a crit. That's how that goes. We have lob. So dart shot over a target to hit another target. So line of sight is a big thing in this game. If you don't have line of sight, you can't make the shot. You can hit anything on the board as long as you have line of sight to it, which means nothing is impeding your shot. Dodge. So dodge 1 wound per 2 action points spent. So if I spend 2 action points when the enemies attack me, I can reduce damage by 1 per every 2 action points. So if I spend 4, I dodge 2. Spend 1 action point to heal 1 wound. So there is a way to heal in this game. To influence a shot, whether it's yours or an enemy's, you can spend an action point to add or subtract a point. So if an enemy is going to attack you and they roll their die and they get let's say they miss on a 3 and they roll a 4, you can say, okay, I'm going to spend an influence action to reduce that down to 3 and therefore you miss. So you could do a lot. And then it costs you 1 action point to move 1 step. So basically moving 1 space orthogonally. You cannot move diagonal. You can only move orthogonally. So that's what these are my actions of the game. So this goes into my action inventory. Well, the action inventory will go below that. So this is my setup, right? All right, let's pull this down here and this up here so you can see that a lot better. Okay, then it says, I will listen to Tupo, pull card 10. Los Mocana. And this art, like I said, it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. So, Los Mocana. With a clear mind and renewed sense of urgency, you dash out the door and immediately recoil. Everything is in flames, sending pillars of black soot into the air. The raiders from Rukai are swift and brutal, mercilessly cutting down men, women, and children. It's chaos. The island of Mocana is lost. Before you can escape, a towering Rukai emerges from the billowing smoke blocking your path. I'm not sure I can do this. Pull card 11. We can do this, and we will. Now, this is our first combat. We pull card 11, and we have our first combat card. So, it tells you exactly how to set up everything that you need on the card and what you need to survive this combat. So, it's not a fight to the death. It's more survive a certain amount of time. And I've noticed that about the different combats in this game is survive a certain amount of time and then you're okay. So, we're going to put this card here so we can see what's on. Here we go. So, we're going to be attacked by Nalu and the Rukai. Card 12 is Nalu. And I'll explain his card in a second. But it says... Sorry, my monitor's too far away for me to see, especially with this color. So I was saying, like, if he could darken the color, I gave him that feedback. So it says, place Rangitaki on space 3, which is, if you look here, you'll see this is number 3. So we're going to take our Rangitaki card with the 7 actions on it. Come on, girly. And she'll go here. Then it says, reveal card 12 and place it on space 8. And then pull 2 random enemy cards. 1, 2. And place them, and pull 2 random enemy cards, roll a d12 for placement. Enemies cannot start on spaces 2 and 4. This is the reason why they're going to be taking those numbers off the die when you get your die with the game. So we'll go ahead and roll. I rolled a 10. So the first enemy I pulled out is a Wopu is going to go on space 10. And the other one is the 9. It's going to go on space 9, which is a Nalani. I will show you all these cards and explain them in 1 second. That's not great. So let's see. Enemies cannot start on spaces 2 and 4. When an enemy is defeated, return it to the enemy deck unless specifically told to discard it from play. So this is the enemy deck. Terrain. Pull 1 terrain card. So we'll just grab this one and roll a d12 to see where it's going to get placed. And I rolled a 9, but there's something always in a 9. And what it tells it to do is you push it over. If some's already there, you push it. If some's already there, you push it again to 11, which is a Magmatiki. Then special rules. If you have the Precious Time Lost event, lose 1 action on round 1 and discard card 8. I do not. So, and then it says here, the win condition, if you survive 3 rounds, reveal card 14. So see, it tells you how to play stuff, how to set things up, what to do. And it breaks it all down on the card. So we have our timer, which we're going to hang on to that card, put it there as our timer. And we need to survive 3 rounds to be able to deal with anything. Let's take a look at enemies so we can break these down. Nalu. Nalu is awesome. Okay, things to know about this card. The top in orange is their health. Nalu has 4 health. If we knock him down to 0, we kill him. Ta-da, easy enough. The next thing right below that is Nalu's area of attack. So Nalu starts here, which means his area of attack is every space that is next to him orthogonally and diagonally. So he can attack, if he's starting here, he can attack 12, 13, 14, 7, 9, 2, 3, and 4. And he will do 2 damage. He will do 2 damage to whoever he hits. The next symbol down is his movement. He can move 1 space orthogonally. And then finally, the last one is his hit percentage. If he rolls a 20, he crits, so he'll do 2 damage to you. Well, 4 damage to you, because it would be double the die. And if he but if he rolls a nat 1, he misses. That's the only way he misses is a nat 1. Isn't that crazy? So that is him. He also has this trait called Bolster. So on a physical challenge 9 requirement, defeat Nalu. And if you succeed, pull card 13. So he will bolster enemies, and that wasn't in the book, I don't believe that was set there. But if you do defeat him, the three dots that you see, I gain 3 action points. So you're spending action points to hit stuff, but if you kill things, you gain action points. All right. So then we have, let's take a look at this one. So let's break it down for the Nalani. 3 health. This one's new symbol that you see here, it's the lob symbol. So they innately get lob. So instead of me having to spend 1 action to throw something over a target, so if a Nalani's here, they can lob and attack me from here, and that's what that means. And he hits for 3 damage. Oof. He moves 1 space, and on an 18 he hits. He crits. On a 5 or lower, he misses. If I defeat him, I do a mental challenge, and if I win, I pull a card. If I defeat him also, I gain 3 action points. The whoopoo. 3 health. Hey David, what's going on? Good morning, happy new year. So 3 health. That line of sight means that they can attack, just a straight up attack for 1 damage, moves 1 space, and on a, I know you can't really see that because it's covering. I probably need to tell him to fix that. Is on a, ooh, that's gonna be hard to see. On a 12 they hit. It doesn't look like they can miss. It looks like they can just hit you because it says a 12-0. So they can't miss. If they roll a 12, they crit. That is awful. And he needs to fix that. Once again, prototype. So keep that in mind. Alrighty. There we go. Let me make sure, because I had some card fixes on here as well. So let me just see if it pulls up. And I'll pull up the, 1 second. We'll work this out. We'll get this sorted. Let's see here. Here it is. Here it is. Rangitaki. And let's pull this up. So we're on card 11. Yep, this is card 11. So this is an update to it. Duration 3 rounds. That tells you how long the fight lasts. Goes through all of this for the terrain, special guests, and then card 71. So we don't have precious time lost, so we don't lose an action, and we did everything else we were supposed to do. So everything else looks solid. Cool. Let me see about need to pull this over here. And then it's the cards. Sorry, I'm looking for the I downloaded the manual from him. I'm just looking for it. So I can intelligently tell you about bolster and all the other things. That's all right. I could just download it again from him. Here we go. Do that. Pull this over here. And nope. Yep, here it is. And we can put this back over here and hide it. All right. So this is a little backstory on what happened, the eruption and everything that's going on. Come on. Then the setup of how it breaks down. Health spin downs that you see, action points and healing, which I've talked to y'all about. Yeah, all this stuff is outlined in the rulebook. What I want to get to is the bolster stuff. Here's bolster. Attacks become more lethal each round. Oh, no. All right, so let's zoom into this, because We're going to use a different font, Greg, here. So bolster. Attacks become more lethal each round. Effect. Attacks inflict an additional wound each round. To clarify, if an attack initially deals 1 wound, it will increase to 2 in round 2, to 3 in round 3, and so on with the number of wounds accumulating with each successive round. So Nalu has bolster, which means he's attacking me for 2 now. So next round it's going to be 3. Yay! And then the Wopu has cowardly, does not want to fight. Retreats after round 1 and is removed from the playfield. So basically, lose 2 action points at the start of the next round and they run away. So not bad, not bad, not bad at all. But you'll get a breakdown on all the different ones that are here. So I wanted to make sure I told y'all about kind of what this looks like. Hey, Pickle, what's going on? This whole series is on my list for 2024. Heard good things and it looks great. Thanks for previewing this one. Yeah, no problem, David. Spire's End is amazing. Hildegard is fun. It's more childlike and fun, right? So if you play it, it's a nice little adventure romp. Get a package from one place to the other. Spire's End is a little more hard cutting. It's darker, and this one is kind of like a puzzle. This is more puzzly in terms of what style it is. All right, so we got that up. Anytime we want to see it, we've got that up for the rules. So he's going to increase his attack. It starts off at 2. This person's going to run away because they're cowardly. Yikes. And then Nalani, that guy just sucks. Okay, so the round starts. I go first. What do I want to do? Well, I think... So remember, it's 1 to move. If I come over in this corner, he'll just hit me. This one will run away. And then he cannot hit me because he can only move... No, he can hit me. How do I stop him from hitting me? I'd have to move 1, 2, 3... And then I could do this test. Oh, I didn't show you the Rangitaki. So the Rangitaki is impassable. No line of sight lob can work. And if you get adjacent to it, you can do a challenge, a critical challenge. Roll a 10. If I succeed, I pull a card, discard it, and that's how it goes. This actually could be advantageous for us to move to as terrain. So if you play Kingdom Death, think of that as like the terrain tiles. So we can do 1, 2, 3 to move here. He would not move. You'd run away. I'd lose an action. I just get hit by you. And that's not a bad thing. So let's do that. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 to do 1 action, 2 action, 3 action to move there. So we spend 3 actions to move to this side. Cool. That actually works. Then I'm going to do a critical challenge test. This does not use an action to do a test. So I'm going to do that critical challenge test to roll and try to get a 10 on this die. Oh, that's a 19, good people. 19. So it says if I succeed, pull card 79. All right. Amidst the cragscape, the Rangitaki starts to spin, then drops into the bubbling pool of lava. In seconds, it's gone. You're struck with a rush of images flooding your mind. Countless tikis amidst a sulfuric cragscape. You sense danger in this place, but deep down you feel an urgency to reach it. Tutupo coughs, ejecting a dart. Unlike the ones he usually spits out, Tutupo found another stash of darts in the eternal plains. Perhaps it's a gift from the tikis of the ancients. Discard the Rangitaki terrain card, and when it says discard, it doesn't go back to the terrain deck. It is gone from the game. Discard the Rangitaki terrain card. Add the split dart to your action inventory. So it says split dart. It costs 2. It does 1 damage with a star. It targets 2 creatures, and it has a crit bonus of 2. So basically, I'll roll, and if I get a 17, I crit with the split dart. Damages 2 adjacent enemies in the same line of attack. Ooh. Must be combined with a dart attack. Dart attack with split does a total of 1 wound per target. Sweet. So you see on here, this is just a typo that you see where it says cost. It's supposed to be cost, damage, target, crit bonus. So it costs 5, which I don't have, or else I would have used it on both of these. But it is what it is. But we have a new ability, and this new ability goes under our action inventory here as our new ability that we get to use. Yay! Awesome, awesome. Now, he is going to be able to hit me. I'm going to get hit for 5. That's going to hurt. All right, but let's see what we can do in the meantime on this bad boy. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to do a dart shot. So a dart shot at you, because you're the only one I have line of sight to. So a dart shot at you will be, I need to roll, and I need to roll a 6 or higher. Yay. I wish I could add to that. Let's see what happens. 6 or higher. I rolled a 5. However, I have 1 action left, which means I can influence that die, which I'm going to do. I'm going to spend that 1 to make it a 6. Why does this game hate me? Why do the dice hate me? So I rolled a 6, which means I do hit him, but I only hit him for 1 damage. And that ends my turn. I'm out of action points. There's nothing else for me to do. So now it's going to be the enemy's phase. And how enemies activate is it goes from lowest number on the track to highest number. So if someone was in 1, they would activate first. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means Nalu will go first. Nalu will look to see, hey, can I attack anybody here? Nope. Then I'm just going to move 1. And then I'm going to attack you and hit you for 2. So I get hit for 2 damage. Fabulous. Thank you, Nalu. Then next up is Nalini. Nalini's going to move 1. And Nalini's going to say, oh, look, I've got lob. So it's going to lob over and just hit me. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to roll. Never mind. I got to roll. I just figure he's going to hit because unless I roll a nat 1, he's going to hit me. As I said, I get hit for 2. That's just how it works. Nalini's going to come over, and Nalini is going to roll. Hey, Barrett, what's going on? And Nalini's going to roll. Nalini gets a 15, which Nalini hits me for 3. Boop, 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 boop. Yay. And then this one's going to activate. And it's going to move 1. It can't hit me. It can't hit me or get anywhere within range just to hit me. So then it's going to use its cowardly trait to run away, as we saw here for cowardly. So does not want to fight. Retreats after 1 round. So it'll try to hit me and then run away. So it can't hit me, so it doesn't do anything. It runs away. I will lose an action the next round. I will lose an action point. So it runs away, leaves combat. Gone. That is the end of round 1. So we put a ticker up there on these squares for the round markers. I'm down to 3 health. Y'all thought 9 was a lot, didn't you? So then we re-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we begin anew at round 2 with me going first. I could do a split shot now for 5 and then heal 2 and hope to gravy I crit. It's a crit bonus. So it'd be, what's it, 20, 19, 18, 17. If I roll a 17, I can crit and kill. I can, ooh. 2 damage to each adjacent in a line of attack. I could die too. Like, do I need to heal? So this is the difficult part. I could die right now, and if I die, it's game over. You lose the game, and you have to start all over from the beginning. This lob thing sucks. And he's hitting for 3. So this is an insta-kill. Unless I can hit him and kill him. But then he would insta-kill me for 3. If I do a 3 and 3 and a heal... I think I might be done. I think I might be dead and we're starting over. I was thinking of the split dart, and if I could do the split dart and hit both of them, it still costs me 5, which leaves me with 2 to not do anything. And all I'm doing is hitting them for 1 each. A crit would make it 2 each, which is still not enough to kill them. Nope, you can't run away in this game. Nope. So, Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will leave me with 3. I can heal for 3. Yeah, that's what we got to do. We're gonna do some kiting. We're gonna do some kiting. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's be smart about this because this is the puzzle we got to solve. He cannot hit me this round. He can, but I will heal 3. 1, 2, 3. Up to 3 so I don't die. And that'll end my turn. Sweetness. Yes, this works. This works. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. So he'll go first because he's the lowest in the turn order. He's going to try to hit me, try to hit this range, but he can't. He can't move here because somebody's blocking it, so he's going to move up. Then he's going to look to hit. He can't, so he does not hit me. Then it's his turn. He will hit me because I'm in his line of sight, and he'll hit me for 3, taking me down to 0. And I still have 3 health left. I survived. I survived. I survived. So I'm down to 3 health, and we'll end the round. And then we got 1 more round to live through. 2, 4, 6, 7. So this is why I started using dice for this instead of the cubes. But you'll have these tokens to use if you want. So I'm back to 7. Okay. If I move 1, 2, and then shoot him, that can work. And that's what I'll do. I'll do 1, 2, 1, 2. I just need to heal for 3, and I got out of here okay. So instead of attacking him, I'm gonna heal for 3. Actually, I'm gonna heal for 5. And we made it out okay. Woo! So we gained 3, 4, 5, taking us up to that much. Now in my turn. Turn order. He goes first this time, and he can hit me. We'll roll. He rolled a nat 1. He missed. Ah! And I forgot to roll for him last time. So let's do that to see if he hit me. He rolled a 12, so he would have hit me. But he rolled a nat 1, so he missed. He cannot hit me, so he's going to move here. And that is it. That ends the round. We survived. We survived 3 rounds, and we got back some health. So we're going to go to 14. So forgive me. I did make a mistake. When he hit me, I made it automatic, which it shouldn't have been. I should have rolled for him, but I rolled again just to say it was a 12, which means he hit. So I apologize. That was a mistake on my side. I am sorry. Please forgive me. So we'll take him, put him back in the enemy deck. We'll take Nalu, who is discarded. Comes back over here. And we're pulling card 14. So 13's out. We're pulling 14. And good lord, our adventure continues. So we'll clear the board. You pick them. For the moment, your enemies are incapacitated enough for you to make your escape. Your action point reset has been increased to 8. Level up. Add Survive Nalu to your event inventory, which is this card. And I'll show it to you in a second. So you look to the coast. It's the quickest way off the island, but it's sure to be overrun with Rukai raiders. You'll have to be fast and stealthy. To your right, a thick mist hugs the emerald peak of Mount Matuuna. At its base, a narrow trail follows a steep incline to the cliffs on the opposite side. It's a dangerous climb, but if successful, it could provide an alternate route to the Tukutu Gondola, which can take you safely off the island of Coral Cove. As you plan your route, you spy a breadfruit tree. Although risky, you have little in way of provisions, so you attempt to climb the tree and pick one. So it says physical test. Roll a d20. On a physical test, if I get a 5 or higher, I get a breadfruit. And if you notice, I do have a token on physical, so I just need to roll a 4 or higher. How hard can that be? How hard can that be, you say? Careful, you're missing a toe. A 4. I need to roll a 4 or higher. That's it. That's a 15. So I get myself a breadfruit. So if you look on here, it says breadfruit. We'll put a breadfruit there, and we have one breadfruit. It doesn't say what it's used for yet. We don't know. We have to uncover it more in the story. So are we going to the beach or the cliffs? It says we need to get to steep incline to the cliffs that could take us to the Tukutu Gondola. So let's do that. We're gonna to the cliffs. So we're going to the cliffs, and this event. So we'll pull card 16, and this event will take us to. We'll make our reset 8 instead of 7. So we're pulling which card? Card 16. So 15, we don't know. If you replay the game, you'll see what 15 is. 16. You look up at the steep lava rock wall in front of you. Years of erosion have carved deep channels into the face of the black cliff where orchids of all shapes and colors have made their homes. Your eyes search for any sign of the Tukutu Gondola, but low-hanging clouds make it difficult. Normally, these cliffs are only traversed by the adventurous, the foolish, and the fearless. Today, you'll have to be all three. You take a deep breath and begin your ascent. The path narrows quickly, and it doesn't help that the loose rock floor is slanted towards a drop-off. To rest, you must lean up against the wall, forced to look out at the panoramic landscape below. After rounding a bend, you encounter a worrisome gap in the path where there's nothing but air between you and your next step. It's not going to get any easier. Pull card 17. So I'll leave that up there for people who want to pause and read if they rewatch the video. My mistake I did made, remember, it's the enemies. I have to roll for the enemies. I think my plan going forward is I'm going to try to get some dice, but remind me, please, I need to roll for the enemies. I did make that mistake twice, but I rectified it both times. All right, card 17. Point Fear. Beyond the path's break, a familiar sight catches your eye. A massive spiked rock jutting out from the cliff's edge. Memories come flooding back as you realize you've been here before. As children, you called this place Point Fear. Everyone dared each other to climb out and scratch their names into it. You and your brother had done this together. All the carvings are still visible from where you stand. This awkward memory makes your heart sink. Tragically, you suspect this is now a memorial to nearly every chiseled name but yours and your siblings who left Mokana long ago. You could possibly reach Point Fear with a modest jump. It seems there's enough space to land. Or you could move to a closer outcrop of rock just a hop away. However, its size raises doubts about its stability. Add memories at Point Fear to your event inventory, which is the bottom of this card, this blue. And do we want to jump to close rock or leap to far ledge? I don't know. You could possibly reach point fear with a modest jump. It seems there's enough space to land. Or you could move to a closer outcrop of rock, just a hop away. However, its size raises doubt about its stability. Let's leap for the far ledge. YOLO! So we got this memory, and we're going to leap for the far ledge on 49. Oh, God. So we're going to pull card 49. Oh, God. This can only end one way. 49. Oh, boy. The closest... let me... I gotta re-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, the closest step looks unstable, and there is little room for a second leap to point fear. After a few deep breaths, you back up for a running start, placing your foot firmly. You sprint forward and leap over the ledge. You promise yourself not to look down, but you can't help it. The vast emptiness beneath you causes your stomach to drop, and your body follows suit. Your midriff takes the impact as you land hard on the opposite cliff edge. Critical challenge test. Roll a d20 and get a 5 or higher. If I fail, desperately, you reach out searching for a sturdy rock to prevent yourself from tumbling over the edge, and I lose 1 action point. So this is a crit test. I got 1 point on crit, so I need to roll a 4 or higher. Yup. Boink. At last, you find a grip and pull yourself up over the ledge. I should never have come this way. Pull card 50. This is how the dice team... I wish I was surprised. Mokai said you could make it to the Tukatu gondola by way of the cliffs, but you doubt it's been attempted before. You venture farther ahead, but the ledge narrows again, making it nearly impossible to continue. It may be daunting to say the least, but your hope is that the Rukai won't be able to follow. Something appears through the low-lying mist above you, 2 tikis jutting out of the cliffs, undoubtedly ancients from the forgotten times. It must be a good omen because seconds later a rope tumbles down from them inches from your face. Okai said, trust the tiki ancients. Pull card 54. I wish I was surprised. I wish I was too, Matt. I wish I was too. After a 20-foot rope climb, you find yourself on the deck of a ramshackle hut perched precariously on the cliffside and supported by giant tikis. Hey, Matthew, what's going on? The floor creaks and sways, reminiscent of a ship at sea. A small man stands next to you, peering over the side. The ancients whispered of your arrival. He begins, his voice tinged with an air of reverence. They've never done that before, not ever. But you're different somehow. I'm obliged to help. Take one of these. Gain 1 breadfruit. Hey, I got 2 breadfruit now. As the man steals another glance over the side, a rope with a hook soars up from below, wrapping itself tightly around his neck. Shocked, the man reaches out to you for aid, but the rope tightens, dragging the poor man across the deck. With a final harrowing yank, he's pulled over the edge and into the abyss. What? So something happened. They're not gonna stop. Pull card 55. All right, so it looks like we've got a fight coming. Card 55. So they yoked him over the edge. Yep, the cliffs. Battle time. I'll read this, then I'll put it down as I do setup. So, Rangitaki. Place Rangitaki on space 13. Then reveal card 56 and place it on space 7. reveal card 57 and place it on space 9. Pull 5 enemy cards and place them randomly on 1 through 5. So 5 enemy cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll reveal those in a second. All right, place a black disc, which we don't have, so we're going to use these, that, and that. Place a black disc on 6, 7, 6, 8, and 10. So we'll use 6, 8, and 10. We don't have a black disc because this is a prototype. These spaces are impassable. Lob isn't required to attack over these spaces or the tikis. Special rules. Your goal is to survive and keep the ancient tikis from harm. Okay. All enemies will move, attack the closest tiki until it's destroyed. Any damage sustained by tiki, you will sustain as well. If you are adjacent to a wounded tiki on your turn, you can heal it as you would yourself. 1 heal for 1 action point. If a tiki is defeated, you sustain 3 additional wounds. Place a black disc there, then discard that tiki. If both tikis are destroyed, enemies will attack you. Afterwards, if at least 1 tiki is undamaged, so your goal is to survive and keep the tikis. 3 rounds. That's where it is. Okay, I was looking for the timer. So we need to survive 3 rounds. This is the setup. So you see the R at the top, which says that's where Rangitaki is. This is 56, which I'll show you. 57. They both have 4 health each. And then all the enemies are here climbing the cliffs. These are impassable spaces, so they can't pass through there. They're just always going to try to hit these tikis, which is horrible. And we don't have to spend the lob cost to lob to hit them where they are. They are targeting the tikis, and if they destroy the tikis, they'll start targeting me. And we need to survive 3 rounds. All right, let's reveal. First, let's show the tiki so you can see them. So the tikis have 4 health. So it's like I'm standing on a platform and I'm playing tower defense. All right, our enemies are the Baoka. If Bahoka is the first enemy defeated, gain 1 action point plus the 3, which is interesting. Sorry, I missed it earlier. Does adjacent include diagonal? Yes. Line of sight is... So basically, all of them can hit the tikis. So I need to find a way to take them out. So this one has... Oh, it says it doesn't? It does, though. Because it says there's adjacency. To me, this guy can hit this tiki. We've got a Tavita who has squishy. And that was one thing, Greg, not you're on. Hello, hello. I'd probably check this. This is hard to read. It's a 20. It's a 20 and a 2, but it's covering the hand, so you probably need to move that up so it's a little bit more visible on the card. There were a couple other cards that were like that as well, so I'd probably say check those to see about that. A Konai with 3 does 1 damage, not too bad. The Bokai's got to die first. Then we've got the Mai Tai. 4 damage. Ew. And that's a horrible place for him to be. He like insta-destroys a tiki. I think I'm losing a tiki no matter what I do. and the Wopu who has cowardly. I'm asking if he can heal from where. No. If I need to heal the Tikis, I need to be adjacent to them here and here. Sorry, I thought you were talking about attacking. No, I need to move. If I'm going to heal, I need to be here or here if I want to heal them. But attacks like this Bukai can attack here. So adjacency to using things like healing, I need to be directly in that space. This is crazy. So I'm going to lose a Tiki. There's nothing I could do about it. This sucks. 4 damage. Yuck. So one Tiki's going to get destroyed. There's nothing I can do about it. The other one, I might be able to, if I can kill this Mai Tai, I should be able to keep the other Tiki alive. Because he is like an insta-destroy. And then if I don't kill him, let's say I don't kill him, and I come over here, it would be a 3, 2, and 1. So that's 6. So let's say these 2 would destroy that one. These 3 would destroy that one, and that's game over. So let's spend 1 action to move here. He has to be my target. And he's got Body Bomb. Oh no, he's got Body Bomb. That is the worst place for him to be. Oh gosh. So what's Body Bomb? Has a volatile body, chemistry, and will explode upon its defeat. 1 wound to all adjacent characters. Everything. So if that's the case, it'll take 1 wound. You'll take 1, and you'll take 1. Oh, no. Then you'll run away, and Oh, no. Alright, at least this one will still be alive. So, here we go. There's no other way to do this. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Because it says, and let me reread it. Place a black disc on 6, 8, and 10. These spaces are impassable. Lob isn't required to attack over these spaces or the Tikis. So 3 for a straight attack on this Mai Tai. Oh boy. I can only pray for a crit. Right now my crit is a 19. A 19 or higher. Here we go. I rolled a 17. Ooh, I could influence that. I can make it a crit. I can make it a crit and one-shot this guy. Which is what I need to do anyway. So that's 17. Influence to spend 2 to make it a 19, which is a crit. So I do the crit. It's 1 damage, but because it's a crit, it becomes 2. So 2 damage kills the Mai Tai. The Mai Tai's Body Bomb triggers. I need to keep track of this. So you will get hit. You will get hit. And you will get hit. And it dies. If the Body Bomb occurs, punishment. If Body Bomb occurs, loses 1 physical point and discard Mai Tai. So lose a physical point. Why? So every time I kill this thing, I lose a physical. That seems odd. Greg, that seems odd to me. Anyway, I killed him, and I will gain 3 action points. Ooh. I could move over here and kill you. Don't say wait. Wait doesn't work here. Wait has a delay. I have to always tell people who, whenever I'm doing stuff or if I'm playing their game, you can't do wait. Because when you say wait, it reaches me later than when you meant it. And then when you're typing your response, I'm sitting here waiting until you type your response. Type your full response and we can retcon. Wait doesn't work. So yeah, losing one physical point because the bird blew up seems odd. Anyway, I'll wait until you type whatever you're going to type, but I'm going to keep going and then we'll retcon what we need to. The body bomb does go off, and as per the rule book, body bomb says one room to all characters, all adjacent characters. The tiki does have health, so if the tiki is not considered a character, I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. Really cool with that. But that's how it shakes. I'm gonna keep the physical point until you type whatever you're saying for this card for the punishment. Otherwise, that's just weird. Every time you kill this bird, you're gonna lose a physical point, which seems punishing for the sake of punishing. I'm not thrilled about that, to be honest. You would lose one fizz bomb. You keep it. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Thank you. So he would go back to the enemy. All right, so because I killed him, I gain the action points label at the bottom, which is 3, which is fantastic. Because I can move over here with 1 and then attack you. And if I'm able to hit you, I kill you. I gain 1 action. Ooh. This one has Rage Drain. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that says. So Rage... Attacks become more lethal when wounded. If a character with Rage is wounded but not defeated, their next attack inflicts an additional 1 wound. So you'll be hitting for 2 on the Tiki, and you'll be hitting for 1, which would destroy the Tiki. I have to kill this one. And what's the other one? Drain. Has the ability to absorb energy of enemies. At the start of the round, if Rangitaki is adjacent to a character with the Drain trait, she will lose 1 action point. Okay, so that just tells me what I need to do. I need to kill you because you will destroy that Tiki. You will hit for 2. So I have to destroy you. So I'll do that to move here, and then I'll spend this final 3 to attack you. Oh. Hey, Raul. Thank you so much for subscribing. Glad to see you playing this. I need to finish your Earthborn Rangers playthrough, yeah. Dude, did you... Oh my God. Alright, well, this game is, all... Whew. Hey, Jen. So... Smooth. Smooth. Lowest turn order. You are going to attack. You're going to attack this for 3 damage. Because you can. You are going to attack this because that is your target, according to the rules. All enemies move and attack the closest Tiki until it's destroyed. So you're going to move there. You're going to attack that tiki for 2, destroying it. It's gone. You are going to attack, but because you have rage, your 1 damage turns to 2, which will knock this down to 1. And then you are going to attack, and then at the end of the round, you're going to do cowardly and run away. Having me start with 6 instead of 8. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. Solid. Awesome. Awesome. Let's just spend the stinking 3. I have to kill you. I'm sorry. I rolled a 4, and I'm going to spend 2 to influence to make it a 6, so I don't miss. Oopsies. You can stay out there. Come here. Come here, you. So that's a 6. Which is enough to hit you for 1, so you finally die. Awarded action point for Kanai increases by 1 each time rage is triggered. So I would gain 2 action points back for defeating you. And you are line of sight to me. You are line of sight, so I don't need to move to attack you. So I'm going to spend these final 3 to attack you. Oh my gosh. What the hell? Dadgummit. I got a retcon. I got to retcon it all. I got to retcon it. Now I see what Greg was saying. Wait, I gotta retcon it. So you would take... I gotta retcon it. You would be down to 2 health. You'd be down to 2 health. I would be here. And I would have spent... I would have moved here. I missed. That would end my turn. This is where we are. This is the thing that you have to be careful of. This is the thing you have to be super careful of. I understand, Greg, why you were saying wait for a second. Once again, the thing that you always have to keep in mind as you're playing this game, which I'm going to retcon this turn, is because I didn't roll for them. They just did damage. And I keep screwing that up. That's pissing me off. So let's do this one first. So you rolled a 6. You do hit. So you hit this for 3. Then you are going to attack. You roll a 5, you hit. This is destroyed. Then you're going to attack. You rolled a 10, you did hit this down to 1 health. And then you're going to attack. A 12, you crit on it, so you kill it. So the outcome was still the same. The outcome was still the exact same. And because you did cowardly, you run away. It's just I need to be better at that. 2, 4, 6. I'm even going to retcon my hit on this stuff. So then it's going to be my turn. We're going to just do a straight attack spending 3. Which is a 15, which does hit you. And we would get the 2 action points back for killing you. And you would die. I keep forgetting to roll for these, and I'm playing like crap, so I apologize. Then I'm going to attack this guy, spending 1, 2, 3 to attack this. which is a 16. I would need a 19 to crit, but it's a 16, so that'll be 1 damage on you, taking you to 1 health. I have 2 action points left. I'm going to hang on to them for defense. So, Greg, I get why you were saying wait for a second. All right, so it's their turn. He's going to go first. He can't move because this is blocking his path, and he can't move diagonally. And this Tavita is here, so he's not going to do anything. Then it's this thing's turn. It's going to move 2, 1. It just needs to move within range to attack me. So it's going to move there, and then it's going to attack me. So it's going to attack me, rolling the stinking dice. And it hit a 13, which it hits me for 2. So I go to 0 health. I was going to see if it got any lower, I was going to see if I can do it. Oh, that's right. Blocks did go into the space. Thank you. Blocks did go into the space. So it would move here and lob and hit me. So a 13 would do that. And it has the trait of squishy. It's prone to injury. If a character with squishy is wounded by an adjacent character, they will suffer 1 additional wound. Squishy carries over to all future rounds. Okay. All right. So thank you, Matt, for that catch. Yeah, still wrecked him, but I want to play it right, and I did screw that up, so I apologize. All right, so you would still lob over it and hit me, which works. Oh, and it says if a Tiki is defeated, you sustain 3 additional wounds. I'm dead. I am dead. I am dead, dead, dead. Because this Tiki was defeated, I went to 0. This Tiki was defeated, I went to 0. I had 2 health left. This thing just lobbed and hit me for 2. I think I'm going to spend these 2 action points to block 1, so I'm just down to 1 health instead of 2. I'm almost dead, and that ends the round. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So when the Tikis were destroyed, I took 6 damage. And when this Tiki blew up, when this Tiki took the damage, because it says all enemies, any damage sustained by a Tiki, you will sustain as well. So when this Tiki took that damage, that explosive damage, I died. I actually lost. So when I killed the bird and it blew up and hit the Tiki, I took that damage too. So any damage sustained by Tiki, you will sustain as well. So that 1 damage, I got hit, I took a hit. Then these 2 destroyed that Tiki, which took me down to 0, which got rid of that. And then when this Tiki was destroyed because of that rage monster, it took me down another 3. And then this Tavita just hit me. I dodged 1 damage, but it didn't matter, so I went to 0 and I died. So I did not survive the 3 rounds. I didn't even make it to round 2. Oh no, I made it to round 2. That's as far as I got, and I died. Crap. There you go. Let me see. I played that horribly, so I apologize. Let's see. I think that's it. I think I got mauled just now. I can retry the encounter. I'm fine with that. I just want to see something here. I'll retry the encounter so we can continue the story. Oh, that sucked. Yeah, long range. Reset. I'm just trying to read this thing out real quick here. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Okay, so let's try to redo this encounter. Eight. 1, 2, 3. Fun part of playing solo, guess what? You get to mess things up from time to time. And you know what? It's okay. So we've got a Lamora, who has a poison trait, a Tavita, a Wopu, a Kainoa, and a Mai Tai. Alright, so now he can't do 2 damage to that because his range of attack. So we don't have to worry about him until this thing kills that, which sucks. And then he'll one-shot this thing, and I'll take 3 damage. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, how do I want to do this? If I kill you, you'll do 1 damage to him, and you are within my line of sight. So let's start with that. We're going to try to kill you and see if I can crit on you. So if I kill you, I'll gain 3 action points back. You'll do 1 damage to this guy. I'll then move over, attack this guy, and see if I can kill him. Oh my gosh, here we go. That's a 16. 16, 17, 18, 19, which would be a crit. That's spending 3 to gain 3. Spending 6 to gain 3, but I think that's something we need to do. So we'll spend the 3, make it a crit, bomb goes off. You take a damage going down to 2 health. You die. I gain 3 action points. I'll spend 1 to move. Then I'll spend 3 to attack you. Sorry, you only take 1 damage. And hope to goodness I can crit. 17. I could only make it an 18. Crud. So we'll do 17 to make it 2 damage on you. And I'm going to hang on to this one. Hey, Steven. Then it's going to be the enemy's turn. You can only attack this way, so you're not going to do anything. You are going to try to attack that. Oh, that was almost crit. So you will do 1 damage to this. Oops, sorry. Should do that. Which I will take 1 damage for the Tiki taking damage. You... let's do the directional, right? Odds or evens? Odds, evens. It's an even, so you'll attack that one. Thank God that was a decision. And then we're going to go ahead and roll for you to attack this one. A 19, which I can't see on this hand what a crit is. I can't see on this card here. I don't know what that number is. So, Greg, if you know what that number is, let me know. I don't know what that number is. It looks like a 12. So I'm assuming it's a crit. So that would be 2 damage on that one. Which means 2 damage on me. And then you're going to blow this thing up. So then you're going to attack. And I roll a 17, which you're going to hit for 2. So you're going to destroy this Tiki. You're going to hit it for 2. 1, 2. And then the Tiki's destroyed, which I take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, going down to 1 health. Cool. Cool. You didn't roll low enough for me to influence anything. Awesome sauce. So I'm down to 1 health. Round 1 goes by. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there we are. There's no way for me to win this. There's no way for me to win this. As soon as you kill that Tiki, I lost. I can't kill these creatures in enough time. It doesn't matter. If I heal the Tiki, I only have 1 health left. So if I heal this Tiki, I'm still going to die because the Tiki, any damage, it says any damage sustained by Tiki, you will sustain as well. So to me, healing the Tiki doesn't matter. I can heal it, I can heal myself, and then I'm going to get murdered. But let's try it. Let's try it. 1, 2. 1, 2 to move there. 1, 2, 3 to heal the Tiki to full health. 1, 2, 3 to heal myself. 1, 2, 3 to 4. So if the Tiki dies, I die. All right, cool. So that's my turn. You can't do anything. You're going to attack for an 11, which hits. So you're going to do 2 damage to the Tiki and 2 damage to me. 1, 2. Then this thing is going to attack. I think that number is a 12. Oh, no, you were supposed to run away. You're supposed to run away. And I actually should have had 2 less. So I should be down to 1 health. So then you would have moved over, and then you're going to attack the Tiki. For a 14. And you hit it because you're raging for 2. 4. Dead. Yep. There's nothing I cannot win this game. I can't win this. This is... I think the damage taken to the Tiki, taken to you, is a little too extreme. For in my opinion. The Tikis can take their damage. It doesn't have to come to me. It should just buy me enough time because I barely made it past. I made it to the second round and then dead. We're gonna keep trucking. Though we'll call this Kanji's terrible play of the year. And we're going to keep on moving. We're going to go to, if not, go to 63. Uh, 63. So I actually played it correctly the second time I played it, and even saw there taking the damage is way too rough. Alright, so the Rukai keep coming. Another rope and hook is lobbed from below, biting into the deck. Then another, and another. The floor buckles under the weight as wood planks splinter and snap like coal in a fire. You try to pull out one of the hooks, but it won't budge. You look around for any means of escape. There is one small rock ledge on the opposite side of where the Rukai are climbing, but it's pretty far down, and you'd likely never survive the fall. The rope you use to climb into this death trap is long, but will it reach the ledge? The floor shifts again as more grappling hooks sink their teeth into the deck. You pull out Makai's knife. Try to reach a ledge. 65. Uh, 65. They do have a unique flow. Each one of these games does have a unique flow. So don't think that once you play one, the other's going to feel like that. It's not. The only thing these games have in common is it's a choose your path card game, which means you operate from a deck of cards that tell a story that unfolds. Combat in Spires End is completely different to combat in Hildegard. That is completely different to combat in Rangitaki. So in Hildegard, you don't have this board at all. In Hildegard, it's basically meters versus meters in terms of combat. So it's left and right, and you on the left, enemies on the right. In Spire's End, it's your cards are down here, the enemy is up here, and you're actually paying cost to do actions. So it's there. The entire battle flow is completely different between Core, Hildegard, and Rangitaki. Where are we? 65. You grab the rope and dash to the opposite side of the hut closest to the ledge. You wrap the rope around your wrist and get ready for a jump. Mental check. Straight roll. This is going to be incredible. That's a fail. You step off into the air. The drop is quick. What follows is a lightning bolt of pain as your wrist is wrapped up in the coarse rope. It did its job, but your wrist is badly hurt. Take 2 wounds. So let's say we ended that fight with that, and then we're just going to go down to 1 health. That seems apropos. You rock yourself back and forth, building up enough momentum to swing towards the ledge. With Mokai's knife, you cut the rope and you land on the ledge just as the hut plummets down the side of the cliff. Add survived point fear to your event inventory. I hurt everywhere, so I gain +1 mental for surviving that, and go to 76. Ooh, the Tukatu gondola. Tukatu! The tall bluffs of sand and grass provide plenty of camouflage from the Rukai combing the beach. After a short hike up Trader Trails, you finally arrive at Tukatu. You've come here countless times since coming of age. All young adults are given permission to take the gondola off Makana to Coral Cove. This is an opportunity to trade, socialize, and, if fortunate, meet with adventurers from distant lands. Your last visit was with your brother and sister before they departed on their treacherous voyage to the mainland. They were recruited by the Seven, the realm's deadliest archers and servants of the Baroness of Seacrest. Contact with the outside world is rare, and an opportunity like this even more so. That was the last time you saw either of them. The lookout tower and merchant stand appears abandoned, and Gondola's absence is concerning. It's typically here at midday, laden with fresh fish and produce to be unloaded. Go up to the lookout tower or check the merchant stand. Let's go up to the lookout tower. 77. Caius the soft. Caius the softy. The lookout tower is a scenic waiting area with a bird's eye view of the island. Here one can gauge the gondola's whereabouts and estimate its time of arrival. You're relieved that it is ascending and will be here soon. You can see that the Rukai have begun their ascent up Trader's Trail. This place is no secret. It's commonly used for travel between islands. Soon they'll be upon you. The familiar sound of rhythmic clicks alerts you to the gondola's arrival. You peer down to see if there are any passengers. A man shaped like a small boulder steps out with 2 spears and an intimidating demeanor. This is Caius, one of the gondola's custodians. He's a serious man, but has a reputation as a real softy. You scramble down the tower to warn him. The Rukai, they've attacked Makana, and they're heading up Trader's Trail, you shout. You leap into Caius's arms as tears leave trails down your blood-spattered cheeks. Everyone's gone. The end of chapter 1. So, let's talk about what happened. That was the end of chapter. So it says proceed to chapter 2. This is the end of chapter 1. This is what we went through. This, right? This is what we didn't. So I think one of the things that gets me is when people say like games, I think there was a review of another game where they were saying there's no replayability. I don't think, and I think when Greg talks about it, he says it's not supposed to be replayable. It's a game that you play through and go. But I think it is, in my personal opinion. I think that it is replayable because here, I have not done these things. I could have gone down to the beach. I could have jumped to the rock. I could have done something else that would have led to all these other cards coming into play and a completely different story, branching story path. Sure, you're going to start off in a hut and you will start off with 7 actions, but the path that you take is completely different. I didn't do any of, look at this, comparatively, look at what I didn't do to what I did do in this playthrough. So when people ask you, is this game replayable? I say yes. I say it's replayable because I can go back and replay the game and take different choices to different outcomes. I'm assuming that the things that stay consistent is the story, but as you move through things, it changes. I just want to be very clear on that because I remember someone did a review of Hildegard and said it's not replayable. I was like, that's crap. Of course it is. You didn't do half the stuff in the game because you couldn't. You took a different path. So, of course it's replayable. However, it's replayable to an extent where you can go through this game and you can play this game long enough that you see all the different paths and all the different stories, and then, sure, you're done. But you will have to have replayed the game several times and make all the different decisions that you didn't make before to be able to see everything else that's out there. So, number 1, is this game replayable? Yes. Here's proof of that. This is like prototype chapter 1 too. This isn't, oh, this is chapter 1 completed and this is what you're going to ship. This is prototype chapter 1 and it's replayable. How do I feel about the gameplay of this? I like the puzzle aspect because there wasn't a time where I was kiting enemies around. I actually had to be very intelligent about how I moved, and that worked against the fight against if you remember my first fight where the main bad guy moved here, and then I moved like over here to where he couldn't hit me. So I was still taking damage and I was able to kill this one, but it was enough to survive the round. So this is a puzzle game. So you have to think about how you want to tactically move, where you want to move your characters, because as long as they have line of sight to you, they can hit you unless they're being blocked by another character or unless they can lob over and hit you. So each of these enemies has a different ability. I mean, there's one, where's this one? This Mai Tai, who hits for 4, true. However, they can only hit, if you look, they can only hit orthogonally. So if he wants to come punch my face in, he's got to get to me and then be orthogonal to be able to hit me. So you can use that to your advantage. You've got, it's just, these are a few of the enemies that are going to be part of this game. The one thing that I will apologize for, and I'm sorry, Greg, because I did this a couple times and I replayed during this replay, was I kept forgetting to roll for the enemies. Don't forget to do that when you play this game. Otherwise, the game is going to dominate you. It's going to destroy you, right? Hopefully you will roll better than I did, so therefore you don't have to deal with it. But be sure to roll for the enemies. I forgot to do that. I apologize. I did go back and do them again when we did a replay. So if this playthrough is tainted for you because of that, I do want to apologize. Everything else I did do properly in terms of the body bomb, in terms of the cowardly, the squishy, all these, the rage and drain and all those things I did do. However, I did forget to roll for the enemy. So Greg, if you need me to redo this a different time, let me know. I just want to make sure that people understand you should always roll for the enemy. The terrain that came out, you saw one, but there's other terrain that's on here as well, and there's going to be more in the game that comes out. So, enemies. I don't mind them. So far, I didn't feel... I felt that the enemies were a threat. And it all depended on my dice rolling to determine how we wanted to deal with these enemies, right? So because I rolled poorly many, many times, I didn't get those crit things that I definitely love to get as I play through this game. However, you will when you play. You roll dice better than me. You always do, right? Y'all always roll dice better than me. So, so the health on the enemies is fair. If I crit, I can one shot a Bokai, a Tavi, a Mai Tai, and a Lamora. If I crit, and then what's really cool is the thing that you never really saw was if I defeat it, once I defeat this enemy, there's also another little bonus to it. I roll a challenge, and if I defeat that challenge, I pull another card to see what that card gives me for defeating this enemy, and I gain extra actions back. So you start off with 7, and initially you were saying, wow, 7's a lot. Then you found out it really wasn't. It really wasn't that much. But when you defeat enemies, you get action points back, so you can start chaining things. So if you're really good at dice rolling, you could chain off a lot of things with your strategy and take out multiple enemies at once. This game, though, is supposed to mob you. It's supposed to. That's its job. Your job, as the game is a puzzle, is to figure out how to stay alive for the round duration so that you can survive. This game is not about you clearing the board of enemies. It's not about killing all enemies. If you're able to do it, you get bonuses for it, right? I won't spoil what this one is. I know what this one is, but you will get bonuses for clearing enemies. However, the name of the game is not clear all enemies or it's not clear the baddie queue. It's survive the round duration because you're going to get mobbed otherwise. They put 5 enemies against the Tiki thing. The only problem I had with this was Tiki damage went to you. I think if you took that out, then that probably would make it a lot more survivable. But there's 5 enemies here. There's no way I could clear all 5 of those enemies in 3 rounds. However, right, you get bonuses if you're able to do it. So enemy combat, I think I like it. I think I like it. I think it's fun. Your action inventory that's on here gives you a lot of options, right? And they add options, as you see when I did that one Magma Tiki. I actually got a new skill. So as more terrain comes out, you gain more skills, right? You'll get more skills, or you'll after you do tests to see how these things set up. So you're actually upgrading yourself as you clear more terrain and as you level up through the game. Because come over here, my talent events gave me more action points on reset to 8 from 7. It gave me an extra mental point, so therefore whenever I'm doing mental challenges, I add +1 to it. So you get upgrades through talents. In terms of travel satchels, I got the Mokai knife, which gives me a +1 critical point for critical hits. I got upgrades through items. So you get upgrades through actions, items, and events inventory as you play the game. So your character is never stagnant, right? Your character's not, okay, I'm doing the same thing every round. I only got 7 actions every round. I'm not really doing much every round. That's not true, because as you gain more items and as you explore the game more, you kind of level yourself up and get a little bit stronger. How strong? I don't know, right? Only Greg knows that as he's developing the game, but that's how that sets out. For the health, I mean, I think 9 health is pretty decent for what it is. Critical hits for me, we just dismissed that. But I think that 9 health is pretty good. I like these spin downs. Like, instead of saying, oh yeah, we're going to give you 9 health cubes, here's this dice that you spin down to that, to, you know, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then you have 0. And it's kind of like that Zelda. It has that Zelda heart meter. So if you see on here, 3, 2, 1. And then 0. So it has like that Legend of Zelda heart meter, which I think is kind of cool. So I like that a lot. So overall character, I like how the build out goes. I like the combat puzzle of the board. I'd like to see more, right? So far, and I'll say this is a preview, so a lot of things are subject to change, but so far from what I've seen, I like the puzzle aspect of this game. The art on this game, it's Spire's End. You know the art's going to be amazing. So the art on this game is incredible for you to see and go through. When I play tested with Greg, I took a different path and it was fun. It was just as fun as this, and it used just as many cards, which means there's multiple paths for you to take. After you finish the game, you just put these back in their numbered locations, and then you can start again if you want. Any questions? Yeah, any questions about the game so far that y'all have? I think Greg is still here. I'm not sure. But any questions that y'all have, let me know, and I'll see if I can answer them to the best of my ability. But all these cards go in the deck. Like, they all are numbered. So it's very easy to, it's a quick setup. You saw me set the game up fairly quickly, and it's easy to go. I wish the construction industry hasn't taken a hit. So many games I want. Yeah. So, but other than that, I mean, I think that's a good, this is, I won't say it's good because I kept forgetting to roll for the enemies. Like, I have to keep reminding myself, you got to roll for the enemies. You got to roll for the enemies. So I apologize for that once again, for that miss. And, but other than that, I think I showed off by and large, what you're getting in this game. So you're going to get base core game board. These dice are prototypes. Please do not think these are representation of what's there. These dice will change and be a lot nicer when you get them. The cards and the art. So if you see something that has a skull on it, like, oh, no, I know what that is. Like this one here. So if you saw anything in this preview with a skull on it, that just means the card art's still getting made for it, so don't worry about that. So it will have its own art on it once it's come through, but the art's looking good. I mean, the art's looking real good. Like here, they'll have art for this instead of just a skull that's there, so that'll be upgraded. I think that is it, though. Yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed this this playthrough. Sorry for any mistakes that I made along the way. Tried to correct them as best as I could. But hopefully this gives you a good sense of the game. So it's supposed to be coming out next Q1 of next year to Kickstarter. The preview page is already up, so you can go on there and click notify on launch. I'll put a link to that in the description below after the stream, so you can check it out. But it should be pretty straightforward for you to get to. But it's going to be coming Q1 of 2024, so Q1 of next year. Does the game come with a... Yes, you will get a D20 and a D12 with the game. The game will come with 2 dice. Yes, correct. Cool. Okay, that's all we got for today, so let's head up to the top. All right, and that is Spires and Rangitaki. I'm sure you will see other people do coverage on this game as well as it gets closer to the crowdfunding opening date. Just keep in mind that what you're going to see is prototype. It's subject to change, but I think it's going to be a nice addition to the Spires End world. So I'm super pumped to see that. And if you want to purchase, if you would like to get the original Spires End, which I still like the original Spires End a lot. But if you want that, Greg has his own store. Go check that out. Check out Spires End, the Spires End store. He has Spires End, the expansions for that. He has Hildegard with a couple of the expansions. And then, of course, it'll be featured on there's the upcoming Rangitaki that you can see. But you will only be able to initially get it through crowdfunding. And then after crowdfunding is done, it will be available on the store. So if you're like, yeah, I don't know yet, let's see some other people play it. Some other people, you may not trust my opinion. And so you're like, you have some other favorite content creators, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me at all. Then you want to see them play it, then they'll get it. They'll, you know, when they get it, you can still buy it at retail. This is not a Kickstarter exclusive. It's just going to fund through Kickstarter, and then after that it will be available on Greg's store. So just know you have options, right? He's good about not saying, all right, if you don't get it on Kickstarter, you're never going to get it. It's more, support me, I'm a dev, I'm creating a really good game if you want to. If not, you could buy it on the store after the game's delivered to everyone, to the backers. And he does deliver to the backers first. So, okay, that's all I got. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for coming out and hanging out with me today. I wish you all a happy new year for those who haven't celebrated yet. For those who have, happy new year. So I wish you all a happy new year. Tomorrow, starting off the new year, we're going to be starting off with Marvel Zombies. So I'm going to be playing that. And then Tuesday, I'll be playing Kinfire. So I hope everyone has a very happy new year. Stay safe, party hard, and I will see you all in 2024. So thanks so much, everybody. Just know, as the last game of the year, and as it always stands, I love you all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Happy New Year, and bye-bye.